attorney.
Okay, welcome back. It's later in the same day still. Yeah, I asked around and one of my friends got back to me with the wolf and sheep puzzle idea. Yeah, basically the idea is can't leave sheep alone then, or else the wolves will eat them, or I guess in this case people. Oh no, don't do that. Let's not watch the opening. Yeah, better go together, yeah. Much like I thought, or much like they kinda explained there, but didn't really, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the exact solution, but I've heard the version of like, you have three different animals and a boat, and you need to get them across the river, but you can't leave two of the animals alone with each other, or else they will eat. One will eat the other. So yeah, it's a bunch of like back and forth and maneuvering to get to the correct solution, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what we're gonna go here, or if our adaptation is let's all go together. Yeah, but either way, we're getting there. I got the idea. I get the general gist, I think. Okay, at the death's door. That doesn't bode well. That doesn't bode well at all. I don't think I checked out the characters at the end of the last video, though. Nothing yet here. I'm expecting these two to turn red very soon. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I still have the log. Yeah. We switched, basically, locations and led by them, yeah. Jessica and Kanakun are a girl and a boy of about the same age. That would sure be a shame if we walked in on them at the bad time. Yeah, about that. Is what I would have joked about normally, I'm sure, yeah. Yeah. However, Auntie Rosa was on edge, constantly exuding tension here. Let me just check we are. Yeah, everything is working there. So it really wasn't the kind of atmosphere where I could joke like that. Wait, I pressed the wrong button on my keyboard. Okay, it didn't end the recording. Yeah.
ほら、遅れないで。みんな一緒に行動するの。
Immediately authoritarian.
犯人はいつどこから飛びかかってくるかわからないのよ。
Fair point, yeah. No, maybe Auntie Rosa's attitude was more appropriate. I mean, it's understandable why she's acting that way. Whether it is the way to act, certainly I think you should heed her advice about staying together. But like, whether or not her attitude towards us is helpful is a different story. At least it keeps the tension in a state where everyone is kinda focused. Since grandfather hadn't come down, Auntie Rosa was the leader. This wasn't a situation where she could smile like she always did. Yeah. And Auntie Rosa was herself a mother. Yeah. She probably also thought that if she didn't get a hold of herself, some harm might befall her beloved daughter. Whom she just slapped. Oof, blood, yeah. The culprit had killed 6 of our parents at once. Yeah, she's extra on edge because of that reason alone. The method they had used was unknown, but there was a good chance that this opponent could take down a large number of people in an instant. Yeah. The more I think about it, continuing on from the last video about me mentioning multiple culprits, the more I think about it, the more I kind of want there to just be either a single culprit, that being Beatrice or whoever, or there be Beatrice plus one other third party acting as the actual murderer. Yeah, because the more people we get involved in this, the easier it is to explain things like, oh, of course, random maid number 1 was in that location to kill those, and then 2 others were prepping a trap in this location, you know. I kind of want there to be a solution that would require only one perpetrator. But we'll see. I'm sure this game will make anything work. And very satisfying to figure out or finally get revealed. Was that with weapons or with numbers? And there we go, with numbers. Yeah, I kind of hope it's with weapons. If, obviously, ignoring the idea that that Beatrice can just summon a bunch of demons. Or was it the magic of a witch? There we go. In any case, it definitely didn't look like there were any factors indicating we could get careless. One thing I could see happening is there being a single perpetrator using traps and weapons, then there being another group or a faction, you know, doing stuff on their own, and that kind of conflicting with everything else. And then also there being Beatrice and her magic and witch stuff, craft stuff. Yeah, you know, I could kind of see competing antagonistic forces, not necessarily having knowledge of each other. Maybe Beatrice would have knowledge of everyone, but you know. Still curious about how or if Bernkastel will affect things. The rest of us should also take much greater care, like Auntie Rosa. Yeah, she's setting a good example in that way, that at least she is focused and honed in on this extremely dangerous situation. I fear the worst. We're gonna walk in on Kanon's and Jessica's corpses, and everyone is gonna cry their hearts out. Oh, I'm not ready. Auntie Rosa spoke in a sharp voice, yeah. When we peered forwards, wondering what was up, we immediately noticed the reason. Uh-oh.
何ですかこれは
Yeah, something similar-ish was on one of the doors. I should have gone back last time to check because I remember the initial idea was to kill Natsuhi with it, but Natsuhi had, you know, a protective thing, so they couldn't get into her room. So they kind of just left marks, and then they went and killed Hideyoshi, and yeah. I just don't remember which door this symbol was over. Was it in over Natsuhi's room, or Hideyoshi and Ava's room? Either way, this time it's a different room, but you know.
皆様、お下がりを。
Yeah. Goda-san and Genji-san approached the door. Jessica's room was probably on the other side of that door. What do you mean, probably? Well, I guess you don't necessarily know which room would be hers in this big mansion, yeah.
これは、礼拝堂の扉に落書きしていたのと同じ塗料のようですね。
That doesn't bode well, yeah.
そのようです。
I intentionally didn't go back to check whether they had died or not. I just want to live in delusion and hope that they were still living and struggling.
書かれて、まだ時間がそう経っていないように見えます。
なんだありゃ。
Yeah, best you don't think about it too much. Well, maybe you need to think about it. I'm still not sure whether we actually are required to for a like magical side solve, if we are required to learn and remember all the different kinds of spells, runes, magical circles, ideas regarding that, or if we just need general logic and strategy.
また魔法陣かよ。
月の1の魔法陣だね。
I think I remember that, yeah.
赤の扉を開く力があるよ。
Open unopenable doors. And somehow Kinzo's scorpion doorknob design counters that. Because otherwise Beatrice would probably have used that for Kinzo's study. Oh. The door to Jessica's room had that creepy graffiti on it, which had been drawn on the door to the chapel. That strange shape definitely had some meaning related to the occult. But it didn't matter what that meaning was. We were more worried about whether those two were alright, yeah, after witnessing this and considering the last time you saw a creepy magic circle design, it doesn't bode well for their well-being.
そんなことはどうでもいいよ。ジェシカちゃんとカノン君は無事なの？
嫌な予感がしますな。
Nanjo, you too, me too.
早くジェシカさんたちを連れて下に降りましょう。お嬢様。お嬢様。
And there's no response.
おられますか？
No, please.
お返事をお願いします。
Godasan knocked violently and yelled, but there was no answer. He twisted the doorknob with a clatter, but the lock just resisted him.
ローザ様、鍵がかかっているようです。
仕方ないわ。
Oh, are you gonna shoot the lock?
開けてください。
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Genji would have the door lock or keys. Genji nodded and Goda quickly unlocked the door with the master key. It's on Goda. Sus. In the back of my mind, horrible images floated up and disappeared, one after another. And considering the soundtrack at the beginning of this scene, yeah. A magic circle had been drawn on the door to the chapel, and 6 corpses had been behind that. So, if there was a magic circle drawn on the door to Jessica's room, then beyond it...
ジェシカ様
No.
どうしたの？
That music track isn't helping at all. Ah, damn it.
いたの？
ジェシカ、どうした？
It was truly heartless. The expression on Goda-san's face and what he said when he opened the door prepared us for the brutal fate that Jessica might have met, even without seeing her. Everyone tumbled into Jessica's room at once. That scene told everyone that their worst fears were right on the mark.
ジェシカ！
It seems almost like her eyes have been hollowed out too. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
南條先生
Mm-hmm. The room seemed elegant for Jessica's age, and there she was inside it, lying on the ground. What about Kanon? There was a large pool of blood on the floor, and there was a knife or something sticking deep into her back. Was it a knife? There was a design in the handle that had to have been done in a devil motif. Yeah. There was no doubt that this weapon, question mark, carried some kind of occult meaning. Yeah.
これはひどい。お亡くなりになっています。
Yeah.
これは多分肺まで届いてるでしょうな。死んでからそう時間は経っていません。
ジェシカー
Battler.
くそくそー
バトラ様。
I'm not tearing up, but yeah.
甘かった分かってた
Yeah.
島からは逃げられない以上犯人は必ず近くにいたんだ
Yeah.
ならどうしてすぐに警戒しなかったんだ甘えてた
Yeah, I mean,
犯人ってやつは罪を犯したらこそこそと逃げて隠れてるもんだと思い込んでたあの時の僕たちは動転してたジェシカちゃんが怒りに身を任せて駆け出すのも仕方がないことだと思ってた
yeah.
でも甘かったんだ止めるべきだった
幸田さんどうしてジェシカちゃんたちを放ってきちゃったのあなたが一緒にいてくれたらこんなことには
I'm sorry, Rosa, but I don't think it would have made a difference.
いえ、それはその、私は危険ですから戻りましょうと言いました。ただお嬢様は一人になりたいと申しまして、カノンさんが自分に任せてほしいと言いまして、
Yeah.
それを言ったら、カノンさんはどこへ
Yeah, so he is not here. Oh my god. I have a feeling that he barely struggled on with his life and went after Beatrice with vengeful eyes or something. I don't know.
そうだカノン君は一体
カノン君、どこに？
カノンさんはお嬢様と一緒にいたはずです。一体どこに
まさかやられたんじゃないだろうな
I don't know. From now that Kanon is missing, from the other's POV, Goda must seem quite suspicious. I don't know.
静かに
Oh.
この部屋に誰か隠れているかもしれない
I mean, yeah, where did the demons go afterwards? Did they just walk out the room or...
ベッドの下やクローゼットなどを探して
There was also a chance that Kanon-kun's corpse had been pushed away somewhere. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I did think of the Kinzo and Incinerator from episode 1 with Kanon-kun here. At Rose-san's order, everyone searched the room together. But there wasn't a single human hiding anywhere.
どこにもないぜ
Yeah.
まさか犯人に連れ出されたかなら早く探し出して助けないと
I think we need to...
もたもたしてるとやばいことになるかもしれねえぞ
That is true, but what about Jessica's corpse? Do we just leave her here? I mean, I guess...
ローザおばさん屋敷内を捜索しよう犯人を探そうカノン君を助け出そう
That... What's the call, Rosa?
静かに
Oh, the music cutting out on her command. Auntie Rosa yelled at us loudly, and we fell instantly silent. She was probably contemplating something. But what in the world could that be? Auntie Rosa walked around the room as though looking for something, or as though she was collecting her thoughts. Ooh, keep that line in mind in case she becomes suspect at any point. Nothing. Oh, then she found something on the side table by the bed and picked it up. The asthma pipe thing, maybe?
誰かわかる人教えて
Hmm?
これは何の鍵かしら
Key. Auntie Rosa showed everyone a key with a cute mascot attached to it. Judging from its cute appearance, I didn't doubt that it was Jessica's key, but I had no way of knowing what key it was.
おそらくこの部屋のお嬢様のお部屋の鍵でしょう。
Another locked room, although if Kanon isn't here, he probably could have had a master. Was there only one master key? I don't know. After hearing that, Auntie Rosa made a point of going outside the door and checking. Yeah, fair enough. Without a doubt, it was the key to this room.
どうしてこんなところに置いてあるのかしら 普通大事な鍵はポケットとかにしまわないかしら
お嬢様はご自分の部屋に施錠される習慣はあまりありませんでした。ただ、学校に行かれる時だけは、
Okay.
旦那様などに勝手に部屋を見られたくないと言って施錠されていたようですが。
Okay.
なるほど
Naruhodo indeed.
登校してるわけじゃないからジェシカちゃんがここに鍵を置くのは自然なことということね
So she didn't go into the room while fighting already something or escaping something. She had enough leeway to go to the room and set her key there. Is what you guys can gather from your POV. From our POV, it's kind of a wild story. Just a little bit. Assuming, like, I mean, I have to say that it's the demons were real. I can't go on a limb and say, what if they were hallucinations? Like, no, they definitely were there.
この扉を開けられる鍵はいくつあるの
That key, the master key that was just used, is there another master key? Does every servant have one?
お嬢様がお持ちの一つだけですが。
And then the one that they just used, Gordon just used.
あなたたちのマスターキーでは開けられないの
開けられます。
Okay.
マスターキーは何本あるの
Don't say one.
使用人の人は全員持ってるの余剰分はある
はい
Oh?
私たちは全員が持っています
Okay, well, yeah, that makes it easier. No locked room mystery this time then. And because they could have used Kanon's key, or Kanon could have used it whichever way you want to look at it.
余剰分はどうでしょう
以前は何本かありましたが、奥様に不用心だと強くお叱りを受けまして、
Okay.
対応が取られたはずです。
Okay.
そうです。
Oh, has the thing been updated or do we need to change scene? Oh, lovely. Ushiromiya, Jessica. And Kanon is grayed out but not red yet. Found in her own room in the mansion. With a weapon shaped like a stake having been rammed into her back. At the very end, she got to be with the person she loved. She must have been happy. Kanon missing. The witch erased his corpse for fun. What do you mean? What do you mean? That alone threw them into chaos. If the human world is what is, then what is not is undoubtedly fantasy. Ooh, what a line. Fantasy depicts what they themselves fear. Ooh, okay, fancy. Fancy, very fancy. What do you mean the witch erased his corpse for fun? That's, I don't know. If assuming that that's a lie, I know I should probably, first thought should be to accept what's written there and then later on question them. But assuming that that's a lie, then my idea about, what if the gold is everywhere, but it has just been transformed into different objects, and, well, the servants are being called furniture, so, you know, what if Kanon is made from pure gold and he was just transmuted back to gold?
私たち使用人が一本ずつ持つのみです。それ以外は存在しません。
Okay. And we can confirm that every one of you four here have your keys intact on you? Oh shit. How the fuck am I here? Yeah, what's up, Battler? I mean, obviously, we couldn't have gotten into this room unless Connor's key was used. So, yeah.
ちょいと待て。
Okay.
確か、前回のゲームじゃ、マスターキーには余剰分があるって話じゃなかったのか。
Oh, good catch. I did not remember that exact line from episode 1, I guess. I guess. Or are you referring to the church or cathedral chapel scene? Okay. Well, let's just go along, okay? No, last time there were no extra master keys. Or last time there were extra master keys. Now there are not.
それについてだがな。
Did you change that, or is that random per game? Randomly, you know, different world lines, different realities, different small differences, you know?
所在不明のマスターキーが何本もあっては、わらわにあまりに不利であることに気づいたのだ。
Ah, I see. Evening the playing board. I see how it is. Okay, Beatrice.
そりゃそうだろうよ。密室で俺に魔法を信じさせたいお前にとっちゃ、想定外のマスターキーは非常に不利だろうよ。何しろ俺は、世情に関するトリックが登場するたびに、過去に紛失したマスターキーや、その複製を犯人が所持していてって論法で対抗していくつもりだったからよ。
そうよ、その通り。だから、そこを崩す一手を打たせてもらうことにした。
Fair enough, hey, fair enough.
設定を変更する。
Okay, I'll alter the setup.
マスターキーは使用人たちがそれぞれ持つ一本のみ。
Okay, well, I mean, that still doesn't make this a locked room considering Kanon is missing, because Kanon could have been killed outside the room, or, you know, the door could have been open, someone could have gone in, killed Kanon there, taken his key, locked the room afterwards, you know, disposed of his corpse somewhere, you know. That is a very real possibility. But yeah, that does level the playing field, or, you know.
ふざけやがって。
No extra variables.
それより、こりゃどういう手なんだ？ローザおばさんは何を言っているんだ？
さあな。
What do you mean?
話に耳を傾けてみるがよかろう。
Okay. That was the shortest segment of those.
ありがとう。状況が整理できたわ。
Okay.
そしてジェシカちゃんを襲った犯人、あるいはその一味の一人を特定できたわ。
Okay, I missed the the music title. Can I see it from Oh, there. Suspicious scent. A suspect, huh? I mean, are you just gonna say Kanon and Goda, or?
なんだって。それは誰だよ。
Yeah, do you yeah, speak up.
まさかローザおばさんはカノン君のことを言ってるんじゃないでしょうね。
カノン君がどうしてですか？
この部屋は施錠されていたわ。
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
そしてこの部屋に施錠できる鍵は使用人のみんなが持っているマスターキーとジェシカちゃんが持っているこの鍵しかない。でもジェシカちゃんの鍵はここに閉じ込められていた。
Yes, sir.
ということは施錠できたのはマスターキーしかありえないの。
I don't see what the big deal about it. I mean, other than confirming that Kanon is a suspect and Goda is a possible suspect. I don't understand if there are. I can't find any other bigger reason. But yeah, go off, Sherlock or Agatha Christie, I guess, since you're a girl.
おっしゃる通りです。
となれば誰かがジェシカちゃんを殺し、そして施錠したことになる。
Yup.
その人物はマスターキーを持っていたわ。そしてマスターキーを持っていた人物は5人しかいない。
Yep. But I don't know how you can, beyond Kanon, like track down any specific one, because most of them were like in their own places doing other stuff, you know. Kumasawa was, I don't know, kitchen handling breakfast or something, not together here. And Genji was with Kinzo? Question mark? Yeah.
そんな。
And I guess Shannon was with us, right?
私ではありませんよ、私では。
Or no, Shannon, I don't remember.
そんなことできません。
I don't know, you look mad suspicious. Have looked since the beginning, but maybe it's too obvious since you're always skulking in the shadows and listening.
熊沢さんは朝が遅かった。私たちが礼拝堂から客間に戻ってきてそこで会ったわけだけど、それまでの間あなたがどこで何をしていたかは証明不能。
Yup.
物陰から私たちを伺っていて、孤立したジェシカちゃんたちの後を追い、こっそり襲いかかった。
That is a possibility.
私がお嬢様のところを訪れてこんなむごいことをしたとおっしゃるのですか。あんまりにございます。あんまりですとも。
ゴーダさんだってどうです？
Yeah, Goda did go with them.
あなたはカノン君にジェシカちゃんを任せて帰ってきたと言ったわ。でも本当なのかしら。本当は2人を殺してカノン君の死体を隠して、それで何食わぬ顔で戻ってきたんじゃないのかしら。
Very possible.
そんなことはありません。このゴーダ、誓ってそのようなことはいたしません。
I mean, of course you swear.
私たちでもありません。
If we go by previous episode 1, Goda was in the initial 6 to die, so, you know, it's hard for me to imagine he would be part of any murdering cults beyond, you know, faking your own death. That is always a possibility. So, like, that's why I'm much more leaning towards Genji and Kumasawa than the other two here. You know, Shannon also died in the first 6 last time.
私たちは親方様のご命令で。
ええ。あなたと源氏さんについてだけは大丈夫よ。
I don't know if we can say that.
お父様から聞いた話で、それは裏付けられてる。
Do you trust Kinzo though?
二人はお父様の部屋でずっと筆行と立ち会いをしていた。お父様と私が保証するわ。
Okay. But yep, in that case, if we can trust Genji not being behind this, and if there is only one human perpetrator, you know, disregarding the whole demon thing and assuming that there is a regular murderer out there, and with our knowledge of episode 1, assuming there's wow, there's a lot of assuming there's been like no change in murder motives and the murderer hasn't changed between episodes, you know, by that logic, if we eliminate Goda and Shannon for being murdered in the first 6 last time, then out of the surviving 2, now we're eliminating Genji being a possible suspect here because he was with, you know, he was with Shannon and Kinzo here, so that would only leave Kumasawa for me specifically out of the servants. But I don't know. I mean, I guess Kanon too. Yeah, Kanon. Kanon is always a possibility. Though Kanon died last time way before, so, you know.
ありがとうございます。
Yeah. There is one other idea. Because if we go by the logic that you need to be alive to have committed all these murders, that wouldn't explain episode 1's ending of all of them going missing at the very end. Obviously, we know that they met Beatrice and failed to get to the Golden Land and whatnot, but like, if you would actually need to be alive, and assuming that there were no fake out deaths anywhere, you know, that would leave only the kids and Natsuhi as a possible sole perpetrator. And considering Natsuhi is already dead, right at this moment, the only possible human perpetrator who could have murdered everyone up until this point would be Jessica. But she just died here, so, you know, if there are any more murders out after this point, I really can't find a single normal through line of, like, you know, a regular murderer doing regular murders. There has to be some trickery. If there are deaths after this point, there has to be some trickery in regards to faking your death or leaving a fake corpse lying around or pretending to be dead or, you know, something or other. Or there are multiple perpetrators, but, you know, for the sake of a single human perpetrator. No. I guess there's... it's hard to rule. Possibly, I guess there's still the idea of, you know, setting time-delayed traps that would murder people automatically. But that would obviously require astronomically low chances and big brain calculations, but, you know, that's what Kinzo's miracles are all about, so, yeah. I don't know, this game makes me yap and think so much about all the possible choices. I think that's a good thing, but also I may be overcooking, and, you know, by exploring literally every possible idea, I might accidentally stumble into the correct solution way earlier than intended, but I don't know. Maybe not, maybe not. I think the solution might be way more complex than I can imagine right now.
こうなれば、郷田さんと熊沢さんのどちらかが怪しいという論法になると思うの。
Especially in this episode, yeah, those two, yeah.
私もこの部屋に入った最初はそう思った。でもね、おかしいと思ったの。ジェシカちゃんの遺体の様子を見て。みんなはおかしいと思わない？
That is the wound on her body too deep to be done by someone like Kumasawa? Or
おかしいと言われますと
yeah, elaborate please.
ジェシカちゃんは背中を刺されてるの。ほら、よく一般的に言うでしょ。
Backstab, backstab.
背中を刺された事件は顔見知りが犯人の可能性が高いって。部屋に気を許せないような人を招き入れて背中を無防備にさらしたりなんか絶対にしない。
Yeah.
まさかローザ様はそれをカノン君だとおっしゃるんですか？
I mean, Kanon was clearly the closest one to her out of the 3 possible people, according to Rosa.
ええ、私たちは殺される直前のジェシカちゃんの様子をよく知ってる。両親の無残な遺体を見てジェシカちゃんはかなりパニックを起こしてたわ。そしてその後に冷静を取り戻しひどく落ち込んだだろうことは容易に想像がつく。
True.
そんなジェシカちゃんが一人で部屋に閉じこもったという心理はとても理解できるの。そしてこの辺りの経緯は郷田さんの話とも一致するわ。一人にしてくれと言ったジェシカちゃん、そして年も近く思春期の関係もあったかもしれないカノン君が自分に任せてほしいと言った気持ち。
Some adolescent relationship with her, damn.
本当によくわかるの。そしてだからこそカノン君をジェシカちゃんは部屋に迎え入れたと思うの。
Okay, but what is Kanon's motive?
でも郷田さんや熊沢さんだったらどうかしら。
Yeah, not as, easily.
部屋に入れてもらえたかしら。
私はお嬢様に信頼を得ていたと信じています。
Why are you making your situation worse?
ではありますが、その
なら郷田さんもやはり容疑者の一人ね。郷田さんは多分ジェシカちゃんには好かれてないと思ってたからナーバスなジェシカちゃんは部屋に入れなかったと思う。だから犯人ではありえないって思ったんだけど。
Yeah, don't make your situation worse. She has a fucking gun.
いえ、残念ながらお嬢様にはお認めいただけていなかったかもしれません。
Go to you rat! Go to you rat! You my beloved rat!
熊沢さんはどうですか？
No, she's gonna say, oh, I don't trust, she didn't trust me at all. We hated each other, or something like that. Yeah. What about you, ever so nice to everyone, Miss Kumasawa?
私どもね、女組は年が離れすぎていてお嬢様のような若い方の気持ちはなかなか汲み取れません。
And here we see in their natural habitat 2 elderly people casually pushing the blame onto a younger person. Just casually pushing someone on the train tracks. Holy Kumasawa and Goda. I love you guys.
お嬢様も私たちに心は開かなかったでしょうとも。ねえ、ゴーダさん。
Right. Say yes.
そうです。
You rats.
私たちではとても心を開かなかったでしょう。長身のお嬢様が私たちを部屋に入れてくれたわけなどありません。
They're playing this up so much. I love it. Goda-san and Kumasawa Bachan each clasped their hands together, affirming each other with forced smiles on their faces. It was a really unpleasant routine.
昇進のジェシカちゃんが部屋に入ることを許した人物、無防備な背中を許した人物、そしてその人物はマスターキーを持っていた。
Yeah.
それらが示すのは一人、カノン君しかありえないのよ。
Yup.
待ってく ください。カノン君は決してそんなことは。
あら、じゃあ他に誰が？やっぱり幸田さんか熊沢さんが怪しいの？シャノンちゃんはどっちが疑わしいと思う？ねえ。
Damn.
私は。
Yeah, I don't think this is the seeds of suspicion have already grown too big. There's yeah.
私ではありませんよ、シャノンさん。
Beatrice is winning as long as people keep suspecting each other.
私ではありませんとも。
Gracious.
もちろん私でもありません。
Of course. Oh god. I kinda want to use you two on the thumbnail.
お嬢様と仲が良かったのはカノンさんと、あとシャノンさんじゃありませんか。
ああ、そうだったわね。
I mean, yeah.
シャノンちゃんならジェシカちゃんも部屋に入れてくれるかもしれない。でもあなたはお父様のところにいたはず。
Should have been.
でも実はあなたが犯人なの。
Oh, Rosa, you are the worst Sherlock Holmes ever.
シャノンが犯人のわけはない。おじい様のところで大切な用事をしていたとさっき言ったはず。
分かってる。シャノンちゃんと源氏さんは犯人じゃない。ずっと一緒にいたとお父様も認めてる。
Okay.
さて、みんなはどう考えるかしら。
I mean, I think very different things from you guys, but yeah, going by your logic, it would seem possible that only Kanon could have done this so cleanly, stabbing in the back without any other seeming struggle, but I don't know. Asked that, no one could respond. Because even if someone did argue back, they would then have to offer the name of a different suspicious person, yeah. And no matter whose name that was, that person was here, and that would create infinite infighting. No one could do something like that. Well, I wouldn't put it past a couple people here, but... Auntie Rosa glanced at everyone in turn, fingering the gun like it was a toy. Wording. She seemed so different from the normal, kind Auntie Rosa. No, it's probably because I still don't feel how much danger we're in. Yeah. Maybe until Auntie Rosa's attitude seemed natural to me, I wasn't fully appreciating the danger.
意見はないよね。じゃあ私の意見を言うわ。
Okay.
カノン君が死体なき犠牲者である可能性はもちろん否定できない。でも死体が見つからない限り、カノン君が容疑者である可能性も全く否定できないわ。
Yep, very true.
ひょっとするとカノン君は犯人に襲われてどこかに監禁されていた。というような口実でひょっこりと現れるかもしれない。
Yup.
でも用心して。多分おそらく。いや、確実ね。
確実ね。I don't think definitely is a word to use here, but sure.
カノン君がジェシカちゃんを殺した。
Oh, yeah. From your point of view, that does seem the most likely scenario. Unless you guys really don't want to suspect any of your fellow people here, then the only other option would be that Kanon is, a victim here also,
バカな。
私には信じられません。
Yeah, Shannon especially, since she definitely knows what Kanon was going through.
カノン君がお嬢様をなんて。あんまりです。
僕もシャノンに同じだよ。
Yeah.
カノン君が犯人だと決めつけることには反対だ。
なら郷田さんと熊沢さんどっちが犯人なの？怪しい方を教えて。
Ooh, that line delivery is giving me Rena from Higurashi. Holy.
私たちではありません。
ありません。
Damn. These three goobers.
カノン君じゃなくてこの扉を施錠できるのは誰なの？シャノンちゃん？ジョージ君？ねえ。ねえねえねえ。
Oh my god. She's playing the bad cop very well. Or someone very enforced in that role. Auntie Rosa closed in on Shannon-chan and George Aniki, laughing unpleasantly. Of course, they couldn't say anything back. They wanted to believe in Kanon-kun. But if they did, they would have to suspect the other servants, yeah. The simplest culprit was the mystery guest, Beatrice. Yeah, and Kanon-kun would be a victim in that case. But she was nothing more than a guest and didn't have a master key. Come on, just yoink Kanon's master key. Then, if Beatrice was the culprit without a master key, we have to accept the argument that she really is a witch, no, and locked the door with the power of magic, no.
汚ねえ論法だ。
I mean,
汚ねえ。汚ねえ。
yeah, I mean, in case, if we assume a case where Kanon's key was not taken by Beatrice, you know, then yeah, I don't know.
何を悩む？
There's the face again. The best face in the game.
わらわのせいにしてしまえ。19人目の謎の来客のせいにすればよいではないか。そうすれば人間どもの醜い押し付け合いを見ずに済むぞ。
I love how this game has flipped the natural, classic like whodunit mystery on its head, and it's like, come on, make me the bad guy. Say I'm the bad guy, please. I beg you to prove that I am not the bad guy. That's so good in an of itself. And on top of that, we have these lovely mysteries here and crazy line deliveries and insane emotions on display.
つまりなんだよ。犯人は19人目の来客、ベアトリーチェ。こいつは魔女だから、マスターキーがなくても魔法で施錠できたと。
Yeah?
そいつを認めろってのかよ。ふざけるな。ふざけるな、ふざけるな。
I mean, that is kind of what we just witnessed a couple videos back, but yeah. Oh my god. I can't get enough of those faces. Like, they're just so perfect.
前回のゲームでお前の弱点は知り尽くしているぞ。さあ、どうするどうする？お前はわらわを絶対に認めないのだったな。なら、カノンというちょうどいい生贄を使えばよい。
Yep, this is a mystery, this is a very easy solve if you just want to blame humans. Just want to blame your fellow servants and friends and family.
カノンがジェシカを殺した。ローザの説を支持すればこの場は丸く収まるぞ。
Yeah. Do you want to accept that, or do you want to find something else? I mean, we clearly have a human solve here. You know, it has been solved via human methods. A possible human method, you know.
カノンはもう死んでいるのだ。死者に気遣う必要などあるまい。そしてこの場にいる誰も疑わずに済む。
None of these lines, by the way, have been in red, but I don't know if that rule applies here anymore. I love the ever so occasional witch laugh. By the way, since I know Ryukishi can get really crazy with his ideas, I'm very annoyed at myself at that I haven't kept track of the moments the witch laugh has been heard, because what if all of those lines when it has appeared has signified something, or like have been a clue or a hint? Damn it.
ちくしょうお前を認めたりはしない。
Of course you won't.
でもカノン君が犯人だなんてそんなことはありえない。
そんなことはありえない。
私は誰も疑いたくはありません。
Yeah. Says Nanjo, internally thinking, because I killed everyone, so I don't need to suspect anyone. No, probably not. Although Nanjo was alive until the kinda end at last time.
しかし疑わしきは黒ということもあるにはあります。
Yeah. Sometimes the simplest answer is the correct one. More often than you think.
用心するに越したことはないでしょうな。
At least keep it in mind as a possible idea.
南條先生。
I don't know if last time we had any like obvious suspect out of our group of people of our 18.
それはどういう意味ですか？
その勘違いしないでください。
Yeah?
私はカノンさんを犯人だと決めつけたいわけじゃない。
Right.
しかし事情がわかるまでカノンさんが犯人の可能性もあると。
Yeah, from a rational point of view, we can't deny that until he is found or is dead or something, you know.
そう思っておいた方が安全だというのです。
Yeah, even though it sucks to suspect one of your own, your closest person in the world. Well, George might be that right now, but you know, it sucks to do that, but you know.
そうですわね。用心はしてしすぎることはありませんもの。
Cannot be too cautious, says Kumasawa. It didn't seem as though anyone blamed Nanjo. Yeah, I mean, it can be seen as a crude remark, but you know, he was already being discussed as the main suspect, so he was just expressing that. Let's at least keep that in mind. So it wasn't the most rude comment out of nowhere, anywhere. In reality, no one thought that Kanon was the culprit. Well, maybe Rosa. But if they didn't suspect him, they would have to suspect one of the servants here. We didn't want to do that, yeah. We didn't want to suspect. We didn't want to be suspected.
それで正解よ。
Correct way to think. It's a valid way to think. Whether it can be said to be the correct one is up for debate, but you know, it can't hurt to be cautious.
警戒してしすぎるということはない。
There is a limit. There is a breaking point. Sometimes if you focus too much on only one thing, that being too vigilant, being too cautious, you might lose sight of the bigger picture or not have enough time to react or think about other possibilities that might lead to your happy future.
それについて異論はないわね。
Me.
いい？
Okay.
この殺人事件にはお父様の黄金伝説が関わっている可能性がとても高い。
True. But I'll give her the credit, considering that, you know, they've just now witnessed 6 people being murdered, walked over to the parlor, and then went on to look for the other 2 who were separated and found one of them murdered. So, like, I definitely understand it from a, you know, being in there at that moment point of view. You would be shitting your pants.
だとすれば、数百億円の莫大な黄金を独り占めしようと企む何者かの犯行に違いない。それだけのお金が手に入れば、どこの国でも生涯遊んで暮らせるわ。
True.
そのためなら、私たちを皆殺しにすることだってあるかもしれない。
I love the word massacre in Japanese. Minagoroshi. Mina being everyone and Goroshi being murder. Everyone murder. Every murder.
マスターキーを持っていないという理由で、ジェシカちゃん殺しについてだけは19人目の来客。
Jessica Chan Goroshi.
ベアトリーチェを容疑者から外した。
But I'm surprised that no one has brought the idea up that Beatrice could have stolen Beatrice could have stolen Kanon's master key.
でも、事件に関わってないとは言えないわ。
Yep, could be colluding with Kanon for all you guys know.
何しろ莫大な黄金ですもの。犯人は複数人いる可能性だって否定できない。
Yep, can't deny that. Although I don't necessarily want to put that as my first and foremost idea. In the sense that there would be multiple human culprits, you know. I can allow there being Beatrice plus someone of the 18 as the culprits. But not like 2 out of the 2 plus of the 18 being the culprits. The game can make it work, but I would rather it be either just a single person or Beatrice plus 1.
今この瞬間、この中に犯人に買収されている人間が混じっているかもしれない。
Yeah, very true. As Auntie Rosa yelled, she looked all around, her gun still raised. Oh boy. Don't believe anyone. Suspect the person next to you. That's what she was saying. But no one wanted to suspect. They didn't want to suspect anyone here. Yeah. That weakness in their hearts demanded an answer from those not here.
容疑者でないと信じることができるのは2つしかない。
Only 2 groups of people you can't be sure aren't suspects.
自分自身と、そして死体になったものだけよ。
Riddle me this. Hypnosis or suggestion. Being under the influence of something. Can't reason with yourself. Going mad. Schizophrenia. Can't trust yourself. Faking your death. Can't trust the corpses either. I don't think those are valid points in the... if we actually consider literally everything, but sure, those are kinda out there. So for now, we'll go with the idea that you can trust yourself and those who are corpses. But if the culprit is the same, and if the culprit is just a single person, I'm really running out of culprits.
それはカノン君も同じ。死体が見つからない限り、彼はジェシカちゃん殺しの最有力容疑者なのよ。
Yeah. He was the last person seen next to her.
だから用心して。
From others' POV, you know, obviously we know that there were there were incidents happening in this room. Oh.
もし生きてたとしても、何かの理由を取り繕っても、絶対に信用しちゃダメよ。いいわね。
All right. Big crackle. No one gave an answer of their own initiative. However, those who met Auntie Rosa's eyes had to nod their heads. Humans are social beings. Yeah, I wonder if that's part of the solve. Part of the big solve. In other words, from the time they are born, trusting each other is imprinted in their genes. Sure. It is unpleasant to go against that. They definitely don't want to suspect anyone. But if they had to suspect someone, they thought that choosing one of the people not here right now would be the most acceptable. Yeah, even though it feels scummy, but you know, for just the reason of acceptability, they had passively chosen to sacrifice Kanon. Moon. This is ridiculous. I definitely don't want to believe that Kanon-kun is the culprit. I'd only just heard it from George Aniki, but not only were those two close in age, they also had that adolescent relationship Auntie Rosa had mentioned. Yeah. It may be a little late now, but yes, they really did have that kind of air about them. After seeing her parents as tragic bodies, Jessica, bearing deep wounds in her heart, would only have trusted Kanon-kun. That's a very conceivable story. Believability. So I don't like it. Kanon-kun was the only one she trusted, so she wouldn't have let anyone but Kanon-kun in. So he was the only one who could have killed Jessica. I just can't accept that line of argument.
わかった。
Then being dragged back to reality with Rose's assertiveness.
カノン君がもし現れても油断しないで。カノン君の無実を証明できない限り、私たちはジェシカちゃん殺しの犯人をカノン君だと仮定します。
Oh boy. Auntie Rosa made that claim by using the ever so slightly vague word suppose. Ultimately, she gave everyone that last little push they needed. Everyone nodded weakly, and under the excuse that they were just temporarily supposing it, they concluded that Kanon was the culprit who had killed Jessica. I wonder what the dead Jessica and Kanon would think if they could hear this exchange. Oh, they would be so sad. Oh, but we can't hear that right now. Oh, Jessica was crying, yeah. She was crying in the chest of the person who had put his life on the line to fight for her, Kanon. It was frustrating. I mean, it's the easiest logical conclusion, quote-unquote logical conclusion. So, yeah, but it does annoy everyone. It was frustrating. It's so frustrating that it felt like her chest would explode. Yeah. She grieved and resented how far the dignity of the dead had been trampled.
あいつら、なんでカノン君の
ことを犯人扱いするんだよ。
Oh, by the way, very interesting that we're supposedly hearing the dead here.
死体がないからです。死体がないとなんで犯人扱いなんだよ。カノン君は私のために命がけで戦ってくれたんだぜ。
Yeah, yeah, but they don't have that knowledge. If only they could make it seem that they think like that. If only they would think that maybe Kanon was protecting her and there was a third culprit who entered the room and stole Kanon's key, but nobody is thinking that.
それであの魔女に戯れに死体を消されて、それで犯人はカノン君だなんてひどいぜ。
It is horrible. It is horrible.
いいんです。結局守りきれなかったけれど、最後にお嬢様のお役に立てたのですから。それをどうしてみんな分かってくれないんだよ。やめろローザおばさん。そんなめちゃくちゃな推理でカノン君を犯人だなんて決めつけるな。
Messed up reasoning. No, I mean, there is a argument to be made that that is not the correct way to go about things, but it is, I think, the most probable conclusion they have derived at, so.
犯人だとは言ってません。
She's just saying that the most possible one.
疑わしいと。いえ、用心しようと。そういう話ですから。
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
言ってるよ。
I mean, technically, yeah, but, you know.
こいつらはカノン君が犯人だということにして、きっと思考を停止する。もう、私を殺した犯人が誰かなんて考えないよ。
Yeah.
カノン君が犯人でない可能性なんて考えないよ。
Yeah, I mean, Battler probably will, but, you know, whether it's in the Tea Party mode or in reality, that's a different story.
そしてこの後も何かあるたびに行方不明のカノン君の仕業にして言い訳を繰り返す。
Yeah. If Beatrice wants to battle more in this episode, then she really needs to return Kanon's body at some point. You know, otherwise just GG go next. That feels bad to say. I shouldn't say. We shouldn't give up and just treat this as a, you know, game. It's a human drama. You know.
私はそんなの耐えられないよ。いいんです。
I mean, is it? If you say so, but I mean, look at Jessica. She's crying here.
お嬢様だけは真実を知っています。私だけが知ってたって意味がないんだよ。死んで分かった。真実ってのは生きてる人間のものだ。真実が残らなかったら死者は報われない。何のためにカノン君が命を懸けたのか分かんなくなっちゃう。
Yeah. Yo, Beatrice, what the fuck?
実に愉快な見物よ。死者の嘆きほど甘い蜜も珍しい。
God damn, just casually listening in on the dead.
嘆け嘆け。
嘆け。
そなたがいくら嘆こうとも、死者の声は決して聖者には届かぬ。
畜生！畜生！誰でもいい！私の声を聞いてくれ！
Can we have a miracle like that happen?
カノン君は犯人なんかじゃない！カノン君は死体を消されただけなんだ！どうしてそれがわかんないんだよ！お嬢様、こんなの嫌だ！悲しい。
It is. It truly is.
悔しい。これじゃカノン君は殺されそうじゃないか。
Great voice acting again.
死者の名誉は聖者が認めなきゃ得られないんだ。
Mm.
誰でもいい
Oof.
気づいてくれよお願いだよ
Battler.
ガロン君は犯人じゃない行くなよみんな頼むからそのままで終わりにしないで行かないで行かないで
Rosa proclaimed that this room should be sealed until the police came. Yeah. The rest didn't want to suspect each other, so they happily accepted that. They accepted Kanon as the tentative culprit without even imagining how much disgrace that gave to the dead. They accepted it.
お嬢様もういいんですありがとう
At least you have someone on your side, Kanon.
行くなよみんな故障だよ戻ってくれこのまま私たちを残さないでガロン君を犯人扱いのままにしないで
Oh. That sucks so much. But yeah. Nothing you guys can do.
届かぬわ
Oh Beatrice, oh Beatrice, oh Beatrice.
死者の嘆きは決して届かぬ
Crazy spirally eyes too. Well, not spirally, but you know, almost.
笑わせるぞお前のその顔
Holy shit, she's so evil. She is so evil.
届くと思ってるだろ
Me having played Higurashi thinking that miracles can happen beyond the reasonable reality. I guess not in this game. Beatrice is saying no.
届かないんだよジェシカ
Oh my god. Crazy laugh there. Holy shit.
全然ダメだな。
Oh.
Eh?
Oh shit. Battler? Okay. We have the dread of the grave. Oh shit. Battler is bringing in the teapot mindset into reality right now.
バトラ君何か言った
Oh shit. Okay. Let's go, protagonist man.
ああ、ダメだ。
ダメだ。
全然ダメだな。
At the time everyone made to leave the room, only Battler had his back to them, and he was still looking down at Jessica's body.
全然ダメってどういうこと 何か異論でもあるの
I mean, multiple.
警戒しようって話にだけは賛成する。
Okay, are you perhaps going to bring up the idea that maybe Kanon's key could have been, you know, stolen?
だが、カノン君が犯人ってことにしようって話は、悪いが拒否させてもらう。
Okay. Oh shit. Here we go.
ここで食いついてくるとはカノンが犯人ではなくしかもわらわの仕業でもないならば、このジェシカの部屋の密室をどう説明する
Yep, that's a tough one because the relevant parties were everyone else at the chapel plus Kinzo, Genji, and Shannon at at Kinzo's study, and Kumasawa somewhere doing something I guess Goda was, you know, here, but, you know.
実を言うと、それについてはお手上げだ。
Oh shit, okay. Not trying to find any possible one, but...
まったく、俺はどうして全然ダメだなんて言っちまったんだ
What the hell? By the way, that's so fun. Battler, Rosa and Beatrice. Determined boy, angry girl, yeah. Dominating position girl.
自分の言動には責任を持たねえとな。
Take responsibility for my own actions. Okay, give me a solve for this.
理論武装ゼロの都市空間。だがな、俺はこれ以上指を加えてないぜ、ベアトリーチェ。
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, I've been repeating it this whole time. If we want to make this a human crime possible with human something, the culprit is Beatrice method. Steal the key from Kanon, you know, hide his body.
バトラ様。
カノン君が犯人ではないという証拠でもあるのかい？
Yeah, lay it thick on us. The expression that rose to those two faces was definitely expectant. They didn't want to believe that Kanon was the culprit. In truth, they believed in Kanon. Oh my god, also the music is going so hard. So this expectation was because they wanted to be made to believe in him even more strongly.
なら、バトラ君は他の使用人の誰を疑うの？
Neither, just Beatrice. Beatrice, but no magic, but human.
ゴーダさん？それとも熊沢さん？
Here comes battlers Igiari.
よせよ、ローザおばさん。俺は熊沢のばあちゃんという人をよく知ってる。
Okay.
たまに仕事をサボってたりするが、いつだって人を楽しくさせようとする人だ。たとえ金に目がくらんだとしても、殺しだけはする人じゃねえ。
When was Umineko story finished? When was the last episode released? Because I know that there's like a Steam release of this game, but that was, you know, during the pandemic, I think. On YouTube, when I upload videos, there's an option to choose, and there are multiple ones, you know, from 2008, 9, 10, something. But the one I choose always is the full package, which is 2016. Does this mean that Umineko's final episode released on 2016, maybe? I'm just thinking that in regards of if when writing this, if Ryukishi already had planned out the 2024 Higurashi or 2020 something Higurashi adaptation. I think it was 2022 actually. 2021? I don't know. Somewhere in 2020 is the Higurashi Go and Sotsu. I'm just thinking if I can, you know, use those, what happens in those to make any sense of this? Probably not, but you know.
バトラーさん。
そしてゴーダさんとは俺は昨日会ったばかりだ。
Yeah.
正直この人のことはまだよく理解していない。
He is very proud of his work.
だが分かったことがある。
Yeah?
私は
こんなに楽しそうに飯を作る人を俺は見たことがない。同じなんだよ。
You're the same, huh?
熊沢のばあちゃんと同じだ。
Okay.
ゴーダさんは 人を喜ばせるのが好きな人なんだ。そんな人が自分の飯をうまいと褒めてくれた人をたとえ金を積まれたって殺すもんか。
Okay.
ならバトラ君は誰がジェシカちゃんを殺したというの？
Come on, say it. Say Beatrice's name.
マスターキーでしか施錠できないこの部屋に誰がジェシカちゃんを閉じ込めたというの？
待ちな。それを論じる前に俺ははっきりさせておく。誰々が犯人でないなら誰々が犯人、という話がしたいんじゃない。
I don't want to talk about if so and so is not the culprit, then so and so is the culprit. Okay.
俺は単にカノン君が犯人だということは断じてありえないという話がしてだけなんだ。
Interesting.
犯人がカノンではないということを立証できるというのだな。
That's an interesting side. Can we prove that he is not the culprit? From an emotional standpoint and from my player standpoint, obviously, yeah. But, you know, from cold hard fact truths of, you know, just events happening from that point, there's no reason why Kanon could not have killed her, you know. Kanon was in the room.
どうやって？
I am curious too.
実に簡単なことさ。
Oh?
危うく見落とすところだったぜ。
Okay, maybe I'm too zoomed in. Elaborate, Battler.
ベアト。
Beato.
副賞要求。
Repetition requested. There we go. That's his version of Igiari.
言えるもんなら言ってみろ。カノン君はマスターキーを持っていた。
Oh, there we go. There's the other one. There. Now we're continuing the truth.
ほう。
Oh.
カノン君がマスターキーを持っていない？
Uh-huh. That's the idea.
どうしてそんなことがわかるの？
さっき俺はゴーダさんに話を聞いた。カノン君と別れる直前、ジェシカが貴賓室に殴り込みに行ったってあたりの話だ。
Okay.
ゴーダさん、あんたはちゃんと覚えてたよ。あんたはカノン君の名誉を守った。
私がですか？
My man is so puzzled. I don't know what it is about this track, but it's so good that even though I've never played these games, well, maybe as a child once, it somehow really reminds me of Toho Project.
同じ話は僕も聞いてたよ。
I really want to play Toho Project on the channel at some point.
でも僕にはよくわからなかった。説明してくれるかい、バトラ君。
Yeah, I don't remember. Was it mentioned that Kanon didn't have a key when they were entering this room or coming here? I don't remember that part. Again, it's been like 2 months since that I read that, but you know.
そうさ。
そうさ。
ジェシカは貴賓室の鍵を開けるとき、カノン君に鍵を借りたが返さなかった。
Ah, it was that way. So Jessica's key is missing. But wait, no. But that's clearly. Well, I mean, we've been going on the assumption that the key with the cute keychain is Jessica's, but maybe that's Kanon's, which would be extremely funny. Though I think Shannon would have noticed or commented about that. I don't know.
だからカノン君はマスターキーを持っていないんだ。
Okay. Boom. That was a weird laugh.
それはどうかな。
Oh?
確かにゴーダの記憶上ではマスターキーをカノンに返してはいない。
Goda has no recollection of the master key being returned to Kanon. Oh, wait, I just figured out an annoying line of things here. One of the other servants' keys were borrowed to Kanon or planted into Kanon, and they were then momentarily without the key, and then at some point when no one was looking, a key was replaced to their pocket or something like that.
しかしゴーダが見ていないところで返したかもしれない。
Sure.
それが絶対になかったとどう証明する？カノンの死体のポケットを調べればそれは立証できるだろうがそれはできない。
Okay, that's why we hid or made Kanon's body disappear for this key dilemma.
証明は不可能だ。
全然ダメだな。
Oh,
実に簡単なことじゃねえか。
is it?
そんな。それじゃあカノン君は鍵を持ってなかったというの？
ああ。そしてその証拠はジェシカを調べればわかるはずだ。
Sure.
ジェシカのポケットにカノン君のマスターキーが入ってるはず。
Oh.
南條先生、調べてくれるか？
If that is there, then yeah, we've got all the keys accounted for, which would mean that the door was locked while everyone supposedly had their master keys here, which would mean that it was not Kanon or at the if it was Kanon would have needed to somehow swipe another servant's key and then locked the door and then returned that key to them without being noticed, you know. Nanjo dashed up to Jessica. That's such a funny line to read. I can't imagine Nanjo dashing up to anything. I'm sorry. Shouldn't laugh. And searched into her jacket pocket. Everyone hope for it. No? Please. Be there.
ありましたぞ。
Oh,
これですかな。
is this it?
はい。
Hi. Oh shit.
それがマスターキーです。間違いありません。
Thank you, Genji. At Genji's statement, there was a small oh of joyful voices.
それがカノン君のマスターキーだ。
Okay.
もう一度言うぜ。
Mm-hmm.
カノン君はマスターキーを持っていない。
Mm-hmm. I think this does a good job, despite not like solving the mystery murderer here. At least it does the most important. Well, together with finding out the culprit, this is equally as important as not sowing any seeds of doubt into anyone. You know, defending the honor and making sure that no one of us 18 is the culprit. You know, at least it clears the number one suspect, which is very important.
だから施錠できたわけがないんだ。
You know, unless we go with that weird line of him sneaking off, yoinking someone else's key, locking the door and returning the key to them, you know.
確かにそのようね。
Mm-hmm. And I can't really say that, you know, maybe Kanon reproduced another key because, you know, Beatrice explicitly said that there are no extra keys.
でもカノン君がジェシカちゃんに会った最後の人物なのよ。
Yep.
疑わしいことに変わりはないわ。
予想ぜ。そういうの。人間ってのは本来信じ合う生き物のはずだ。
Sure.
なのに世知辛い世の中を生きるために疑り深さを覚えちまう。
Ooh, good line.
だから何でも疑っちまう。
Yeah?
俺たちは悲しい生き物だな。
Yeah.
その差がを俺は否定しねえ。
Mm-hmm.
だが証拠なき断定だけは許さない。疑わしきは黒じゃねえ、白だ。
Shiro da.
もちろん世の中は狼だらけさ。人を不用心に全て信じろとは言わね
Yeah?
え。だが黒だと断定するならば完全な証拠を用意しろ。
Oh, okay.
それができない限り絶対に憶測で人を黒だなんて言うんじゃねえ。
I mean, I don't know how applicable that is in real world because there are cases where the culprit is like very clear, but there's just no definitive evidence, that last piece that would seal the deal.
それは
疑わしきは黒は私の発言ですな。軽率でした。謝ります。
You weren't being malicious with that, so it's all good.
バトラ様。
見事な推理だよ、バトラ君。ゴーダさんもありがとう。
Arigato.
あなたが覚えていてくれたからカノン君の疑いが晴らせました。
Yeah, that makes George and especially Shannon really happy.
いや、
Oh. Golden sneer. Clap, clap, clap. Uh-oh, I feel like she's about to throw a wrench into our premature congratulatory feeling. It was the dry sound of the witch's applause.
お見事お見事。
Omigoto.
なかなかやるではないか。
やべえな。
Same battler, same.
まんまと餌ごまに引っかかっちまったか。
I mean, maybe.
そなたは見事。カノンにだけはこの部屋の扉を施錠できなかったことを証明した。
Sure. Well, there's still that one line I mentioned a couple times.
使用人は全員マスターキーを持つはず。
Mm-hmm.
それが根拠となり、カノンが犯人扱いとなっていたのだから、少なくともその疑いは見事に晴らせたな。
Yup. Don't you dare now say in red that all the servants were not in possession of their keys at all times. Don't do that. Don't do that.
となると、ジェシカを殺した犯人はどうやって扉を施錠したのか。
Hey, that's not your job right now, unless it is, but you know.
そういう問題になっちまうわけだな。
Yeah, you have turned the problem into that right now.
まんまと思い通りの展開に引き込まれちまったぜ。
Mm-hmm. But okay, at least the simplest line of thought is Beatrice took Canon's key and yoinked it and stole it and locked the door and went away. That line is gone. Now we only have from the key methods. I mean, then again, it was said that the baseline of assumption is that everyone has had their own key and none of them are missing. But you know, that still leaves open the same idea as with the church or chapel locked door, where were they in possession of their keys the entire time, or was it temporarily swapped out? I don't know, but considering that it was used in the last mystery just before this, I'm not sure if Ryukishi would do it again. Maybe. Maybe.
かかったな。しかもそなたは他の使用人たちを誰も疑わないなどと大それたことを言ってしまった。
Mm-hmm.
さーて、どう言い作ろうのか見ものよ。
うるせえぜ。
Shut your face.
早速始めるぞ。
Oh shit.
どうせがっつり否定されちまうんだろうが、先にこの部屋が密室であることの定義を確認させてもらうぜ。
Okay. Yeah, same deal. It's the only method of entry, this door, and this door only.
よかろう。まず、 隠し扉の類は一切ない。
I think Ryukishi going forward this point on, if he even lets one mystery go by where he doesn't start with there are no types of hidden doors, then that's gonna be a ballsy move because I'm gonna be on the lookout for that always.
出入りはこの扉からだけだ。扉の施錠はジェシカの鍵が1本と使用人たちが1本ずつ持つマスターキーのみ。
Okay.
2階ではあるが窓から出入りすることも可能だろう。
It is on the second floor, yeah. Okay, so that is a possible method of entry. Okay, good to know.
しかし窓は内側から施錠されている。
Okay, and we can't take the window off its hinges or whatever.
いきなりチェス盤をひっくり返させてもらうぜ。
Okay.
多分扉がどうこう施錠がどうこうって論法から入るのはお前の手のひらから出ない。
好きにするがよい。
Okay, are we going into the argument I proposed of did all of the other servants have their keys the entire time?
さてさて、何を復唱すればよいのやら。
さて。
復唱要求。カノン君はこの部屋で殺された。
カノンはこの部屋で殺された。
Yeah.
死体はわらわが魔法で消したがね。
Of course? Question mark? She's so insane, I love it.
続けて復唱要求。
Okay.
カノン君の死体はこの部屋にある。
I mean, if it's erased, it's not, but... Ooh, that is an interesting line, if she is lying about erasing the body. No.
拒否する。
Decline, okay? Because of...
復唱はできぬ。
Cannot repeat.
なぜなら、死体はわらわが魔法で消したからだ。
Right.
そりゃ言わねえよな。そこにどうせ秘密があるに決まってるんだ。
There's got to be a secret hidden in there somewhere. Yeah. So like, if we assume this from a human, not human, but just non-magic point of view, that would imply that Kanon's body is in this room, but hidden via some method we haven't been able to crack.
くそ。謎の論点はどこなんだ。マスターキーもなく施錠したことなのか。施錠された室内にいる二人をどうやって殺したかなのか。
Yeah, or Kanon's body specifically maybe, or something else.
それとも二人を殺しどうやって脱出したかなのか。
No, I think the escape part is the simplest one. Simply one small line of wire or something, attach it with a tape to the window, open the window, jump down, then wiggle the wire so that it closes and then locks itself and pull the tape out. That has been done, but you know.
悔しいが外堀から埋めてくしかないぜ。
One step at a time. Sotobori. Soto means outside.
復唱要求。
Okay.
最後の施錠はマスターキーによるものである。
Ah, okay. Okay.
これも拒否する。
Decline, huh? Yeah, I closed it with magic.
その拒否ってやつがどうも曖昧だな。復唱不能だから拒否なのか、本当は復唱できるのにわざと拒否してるのかがわからね
え。礼拝堂の鍵の時はそなたにすっかり逆手に取られてしまった。
Okay.
わらわが有利なうちはわざわざリスクのある赤を使って発言する必要がない。
Sure.
ただそれだけのことよ。
それだけのことだよ。
そうなんだよな。
Yeah, I guess so. So, Battler, you got anything?
本来、赤ってのは、俺の陳説をあんたが封じるときに使うもんだったんだよな。
わらわが有利になるように使うのは当然のこと。上げ足を取られるリスクが分かっている以上、無駄には使わぬ。さて、次はどういう手で来る？
I don't know, but I really like how they're doing things in this second episode. It's like a quizmaster type of, you know, the type of show you'd see on TV or something. I love that.
ゴーダや熊沢を疑う手がおそらく一番使いやすいぞ。
Yeah, but we're not gonna go there.
くそ。誘導されているようでムカつくぜ。しばらく黙ってろ。考える。
Okay.
もちろん、この扉は礼拝堂の時と同じだ。
Okay.
施錠時にはいかなる方法をもってしても出入りはできぬ。
Okay.
さらに言うと、部屋の外から鍵を使わずに施錠するようなからくりも通用せぬぞ。
No trick could have the effect of locking the door from the outside without using a key. Okay, well that gets rid of the ideas. Well, I mean that doesn't, you know, that only speaks of the door. What about the window? Yeah, my tape and wire to the window lock idea is still possible, but technically I had that idea in mind for the door as well, but that is now gone. The window is looking mega sus right now, but I don't know.
頼まれてねえ時にばかり赤を乱発しやがって。
Let's back up. Let me just think. I'll lay out everything I know. Okay. Yeah, game is like, here is all the info. Go for the solve yourself now. First, there are 2 victims. Supposedly. Jessica and Kanon-kun. Kanon-kun's corpse isn't here, but Beatrice admitted in red that Kanon-kun was killed. Okay, yeah, okay, sure. So, even without a corpse, he's included as a victim. Thank you. There are a few questionable points. And depending on which I focus on, my line of thought changes a lot. First, after the culprit committed murder in this room, how did they lock it? If we assume that the culprit was one of those holding a master key, it's extremely simple. Yeah. But I want to avoid that if I can. Yep. Because I would have to suspect Goda-san or Kumasawa-san. No, in the worst case, even Shannon-chan and Genji-san. I love how Genji is also included in the worst case scenario. Shows where Battler's allegiances are. At this point, I noticed something. Oh? I'm contradicting myself. I'm cutting my own throat. Oof. That's a line and a half. I think I'm posting that to my friend group chat. We gather weird quotes. I want to deny Beatrice no matter what. I want to erase the existence of that brutal, fickle, ridiculous witch. In order to do that, I have to explain everything with humans, not magic. Yeah, that's looking mega hard right now. But that also means suspecting some human. I don't want to suspect someone. I mean, why can't we just suspect Beatrice? You know? Of course, if there was some clear proof, I would have to believe that that person was the culprit. But as long as that didn't happen, I didn't want to cast any suspicions. Yeah, fair enough. Am I just green? Yeah, naive. Am I just a kid who doesn't want to have my feelings, which tell me that at least this person or that person couldn't be a murderer? Betrayed? I want to deny that it was a witch. I also want to deny that it was a human. Oh, freak accident? I don't know. Natural cause? Now I don't know what it is, what is what anymore. There's the witch laugh again.
そもそもそなたとわらわのゲームは、わらわの存在を否定できるかどうかだけが勝利の条件だった。
I'm still surprised that we're not really talking about whether or not Beatrice is actually a witch, you know? She could exist just as a human. Why haven't we brought that up?
それだけでもそなたに不利なゲームなのに、そなたは勝手に勝利条件を増やし、自ら勝利を困難なものとしてしまっている。
Sure. It's just as she says, it truly is. If I started arguing that someone holding a master key was the culprit, this locked room could be easily broken, yeah? However, since the number of keys that could open this door are limited, and furthermore, it's clearly known who holds them, saying that would mean that I was suspecting someone I knew well. No, have I just been averting my eyes? Yeah, suspicion. In that lock room trick with the chapel, which had been very exhilarating to destroy. That's alright. I don't think you, even though you love your mystery, I don't think you should get too excited about these because they involve your blood relatives and their deaths. I had proposed that someone stole the key from Maria's handbag and returned it. Okay, we're actually tackling this idea. If that theory was right, then the question becomes who could have stolen the key from her handbag? Maria's handbag had probably been at its most unguarded when she was sleeping here. In that case, in addition to me, George, Aniki, and Jessica are also suspects. Yup. George, Aniki, or Jessica was the culprit? Or maybe an accomplice? I mean, all of our parents had been killed, right? And yet, one of us consented to that and assisted with the crime? We had lamented, mourned, and shed tears in the chapel. And yet, one among us had been lying? Yeah, it's very vexing.
そなたの例の手下げから抜き出し戻したという説は、いとこたちを色濃く疑うものであったのだぞ。にもかかわらず、それに気づかないふりをして。
Oh, are we digging into Battler's mental and trying to destroy his psyche right now?
よくもあれだけの説をシャーシャーとのたまえたものよ。
Oh. That laugh.
くそ。
くそ。
だからって、親族や使用人の誰かが犯人だって保証はね。
Right.
お前が、例えば段ボール箱にでも隠れながらコソコソと近づいてきて、熟睡してる俺たちの部屋に忍び込んで鍵を奪った可能性だって十分あるじゃねえか。
Random solid snake reference.
それについてはそれでもよかろう。19人目の来客であるわらわを疑うことで、彼らに疑いをかけずに済む。
Yeah. That would be a line.
ならば、ジェシカの部屋の施錠はどうする？
Okay. Do we dive into the idea of, same as with the chapel, stole the key, returned the key from one of the other four?
わらわは魔法で鍵を開けることは造作もないが、さすがにマスターキーは持たぬ。 わらわの魔法を否定するならば、わらわを疑うことも否定せねばならんぞ。
Well, no.
そしてそれはつまり、そなたら18人の中の誰かを疑うことよ。
I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but it's very funny that Battler's group consists of 18 people, and our main character Battler just turned 18 himself. You know, him being the 18th person, the one who normally doesn't appear here. Very fun.
親切にありがとうよ。
Thanks for pointing out the problem I'm dealing with right now.
少し整理できたぜ。
Okay, do you have a line?
俺にとっての目的は、人間である19人目の来客、ベアトリーチェがどうやって犯行に及んだかに迫ることだ。
Yeah, okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
そうすれば、誰も疑わずに済む。
それができればな。
No.
愚かな男よ。こんな部屋、本来は密室でも何でもない。
Never needed to be a locked room at all.
何しろ、開けることのできる鍵は合計で6本もあるのだからな。
Each 5 of the servants plus Jessica's key.
そしてそれらの所有者は何人もいる。誰でも疑える。疑い放題よ。
I don't think that's an option for Battler.
なのにお前はわざわざそれらをすべて否定し、自分で密室を作ってしまった。
That is very true.
わかるか？これはお前の思考的矛盾が生み出した密室なのよ。
Very fun meta stuff. You made this a locked room with your own weird set of morals and rules.
他の誰でもない。そなた自身が扉を閉ざしているのだ。
Oh, that's a line and a half.
魔女が魔法で開けたことを認めるか、俺の知る誰かが犯人であることを認めるかの二択だって言いたいんだな。
Third one proved that the 19th guest, the human Beatrice, did the locked room, and it's not a locked room mystery, you know.
くそ。大手飛車取りのつもりかよ。
Back to the chess analogy.
こういう指し手もあると披露したかったまで。
I'm just in love with the cackles.
さて、どうする後ろ宮バートラー。
Batura. I love when she does that.
実に簡単な話じゃないか。
な
あの自意識過剰な料理男と死に損ないのクソババアをちょいと生贄に仕立て上げるだけじゃない。
She's going a bit like Roswell from ReZero right now, just lengthening her words. Holy.
くそ。
Indeed, damn it.
幸田さんと熊沢さんを疑えばそれでいいのか。ダメだ。
ダメだ。
俺は幸田さんが犯人だとは思えない。
Yeah.
熊沢さんが犯人だとは思えない。だがお前は認めない。
Yeah.
絶対だ。
絶対だ。
ならば魔法もマスターキーも使わずにこの部屋に入り、ジェシカとカノンを殺し、しかもカノンの死体を魔法を使わずに消失させねばならない。
Yeah, that is the problem we're facing right now.
どうやって行う？わらわを否定しつつ、誰も疑わずにどうやって行うのか。
Oh.
リザインだ。
Oh shit. Damn. He doesn't figure it out. Oh.
バトラ君、今なんて。
He said that in reality.
降参だよ。
Oh, with his mental battle, yeah.
俺は カノン君にこの扉が施錠できないことは証明できた。だからといって、ジェシカを誰が殺したのかを特定できたわけじゃない。
いえ、十分です。
It's interesting that we didn't entertain the idea that Beatrice could have, temporarily stolen the key and returned it to one of the 4 others. But I'm a bit confused about the baseline. Were we treating the baseline of each servant having the key as like a stated fact that none of them had ever lost their key at any moment? I don't remember them mentioning that part.
そのカノン君のためにありがとうございます。
Yeah, at least you did good. You did very well, you know.
礼なんかいらねえ。
I think we can call this a tie. Well, no, it's your loss, but it's a locked room out of your own stubbornness. But at least you were able to protect Kanon's honor.
それはつまり、シャノンちゃんも疑ってるってことなんだからよ。
Yeah.
ローザおばさんもごめんよ。別に反抗したかったわけじゃない。
Okay.
俺も死にたくないし、親父たちの本当の仇を見つけ出したい。
Yeah.
協調性のないことを言って悪かったぜ。
Unity is what we need right now.
いいの。
Okay, it seems like Rosa has calmed down too, so... I mean, you achieved not only protecting Kanon's honor, but you also managed to de-escalate the situation, You did very well.
私も少し軽率だったわ。
Yeah, I mean, but reasonably, yeah.
仲直りしましょう。
Aw.
おばとおい同士、仲良くしないと。
Okay, nephew is Oi. Yeah, okay. I knew I had heard that, but I couldn't remember what the word was. Yeah, okay. Oi. Ne? Auntie Rosa shifted the gun to one hand and held out her other hand. I reached out and, for the time being, we shook hands, and then something happened. No. Okay. Auntie's gaze was sharp. In order to deny the witch, she would make anyone a sacrifice, but that's not what we want to achieve here. That's what her eyes told me. And me? I denied the witch. But I wasn't prepared to lose anything. That's the correct mentality. I was probably the one who thought himself most ready to fight. Yeah, at least outwardly. And the one standing furthest from the truth. Well, the others, I think, would be false positives, They might be solutions, but not the correct one, The one we want. Oh, chapter end. Oh, shit. Wait, how? Oh my god. 6 hours? 1 p.m. Wolves and sheep puzzle. Ooh, we're going there next. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned that at the beginning of this video, but okay, let me just first check. Anything new here? Wait, what was... That was a weird glitch. Oh, it was Kanon. Ah, I see, yeah. It was just a silhouette, yeah. There is no corpse, but he is dead. The witch declared it in red. So, even without a corpse, his death is incontrovertible. At the very end, she got to be with the... Yeah, she must have been happy. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so next time we're gonna go do Wolves and Sheep puzzle, which has something to do with sticking together or being separated, I would assume, Don't go into small groups because there might be a predator in that small group who will gobble you up, so stick together and wrong place, and you will probably survive. More likely. Okay, well, that was on the second twilight. Those who remain shall tear apart the two who are close. That was that. Next up, those who remain shall praise my noble name is the next one. Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay, let's leave it here, I guess. What a wild twist of turns. But yeah, interesting that we didn't entertain the idea of yoinking the key and then returning it back. So that's, since we didn't go there at all, talk about that at all, that's definitely on my mind as a possible actual real solve, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. Real solve in the sense of a human Beatrice being the culprit. First, obviously, we have seen what the magic solve would be. Beatrice summoning demons. I don't know. Could we make it so that magic Beatrice summoning demons to kill them? Could that be some sort of metaphor, or like a, not hallucination, but you know, substitute that idea for something else that actually happened in reality and we just saw a magical version of the actual events, you know? Maybe. That's an idea. Okay, cool. I think that's all. And next time, well, we're getting scarily close to probably the end. We're definitely in the last quarter of episode 2 now, I feel it. Okay, cool. Patreon early access up to 2 weeks. Links down in the description. Cool. See ya.